The ANC Gauteng Executive Committee has decided to allow 5 branches from the Ekurhuleni region to take part in its conference, which is taking place in Benoni. Ekurhuleni also has 19 quarantine votes when Mzwandile Masina was provisionally elected as regional chair at its conference last month. Provincial ANC Secretary Jacob Kawe says the PEC has agreed to allow them into conference, but their votes will be quarantined and the PEC will attend to the Ekurhuleni matter in due course. The issue caused the conference to be delayed for several hours as they met to discuss the way forward. The nomination and election of new leaders only takes place tomorrow. So that conference kicking off today, and it is shaping up to be a very hot contest between Gauteng Education MEC Panyaza Lesufi and Gauteng Human Settlements MEC Lebogang Maile. The pair are vying for the coveted provincial chair position. Both have strong support as the leadership conference gets underway in Benoni, with Lesufi's Sigran supporters and Maile's Adiwele supporters each anticipating success. What are the stakes? And how important is this conference in relation to the performance of the ANC in the province? How will it affect the National Leadership Conference due to take place at the end of the year? Let's get some perspective now with Omry Makgoale, who is an ANC veteran and a political commentator. Good evening to you, and thank you very much for joining us on the program tonight. Maybe just a sense of, what the stakes are from your vantage point.
Yes, the stakes are high. Gauteng being the richest province in the country, and so the budget of Gauteng is almost estimated to be more than 1/3 of the country. So the stakes are high in terms of the country and being the premier. And whoever becomes the ANC leader normally would become the premier if we win elections. Of course, winning elections in Gauteng, it's in doubt now after our dire performance in the past years. So it's no longer guaranteed that we will win Gauteng. We are in a dire state in Gauteng.
We'll come back actually to your election fortunes or misfortunes from last year. But from your purview, what makes this a conference to watch more than the other provincial conferences?
I think, this Gauteng province, supposedly the two candidates are almost neck and neck. In the last elections, when Makgoale was elected as the chairperson, the deputy chairperson post, I understand, was contested highly by both Lesufi and Maile, and the differences between them was minimal. So basically, whoever has managed to get more money, to bribe the delegates, because in our ANC system nowadays, it's about bribing the delegates. Whoever has got enough money to bribe enough delegates will win, at the end. So it's no longer about integrity. It's more about buying the votes and winning, I'm sorry to say so.
Yeah, when you put it like that, it sounds so crude, but it's something that has been widely acknowledged, and you've mentioned it again. Let's go then to the issues, right? So Maile says he's hopeful that this conference will produce radical policy changes which will impact the lives of people and help them with the transformation agenda. Given those losses you just mentioned, particularly in the 3 metros in Gauteng, and the declining electoral support in the last municipal elections, a touch above 35%, is there a credible strategy for how the ANC claws back support in the province?
At the moment, I'm afraid there is no credible strategy at the moment. Both Lesufi and Maile have been in the leadership of the province for more than 10 years, and they've been in charge when the rail infrastructure has been destroyed in Gauteng. The cables are ripped apart, power cables are ripped apart, the manholes are left open, and so the disaster goes on. It's very unfortunate, but both of them have been there in the past 10 years in the leadership of the ANC in Gauteng, and they've seen this infrastructure being destroyed. They've done very little. So I'm afraid there's no strategy for ANC at the moment to clean up Gauteng. They don't have, but basically it's more to do with corruption, because we do have the skills in the province. We do have the skills that used to maintain this infrastructure, but most of those skills have been just removed from strategic posts, and people who are deployed are people who are extremely corrupt and incompetent, and that's why the cables are stolen, infrastructure, the rail is destroyed, and the manholes are left open. These two comrades have been there throughout, and they've done very little, both of them, to stop that. So I don't think there will be anything of improvement if either of them gets elected.
You know what's interesting? Not uncharacteristically, Lesufi declares, we are not scared as the ANC in Gauteng. He terms it a strategic retreat in the local elections, not a loss. Now, from this reframing of an existential threat to the ANC's survival and resurgence, how risky is this outlook to the future of the party?
I think basically it's because maybe he doesn't understand the seriousness of the problem. It's possible that, according to his analysis, he's not aware of how dire the situation is. But the other thing could be that he's aware of how dire the situation is, but he doesn't want to maybe send alarms. Maybe he doesn't want to send alarms, he's aware. But either of the two, his analysis, I don't think it's satisfactory for the voters of Gauteng, what he said. Because the voters of Gauteng are more interested to see the trains running from station to station successfully, with the cables installed and the hospitals running properly and the manholes closed. Yeah. And they are not getting that from this ANC government. I'm sorry, my party is not delivering. They are not getting that. And I don't think Lesufi has got a plan on how to do that.
Given what you're saying, which is not too much faith in either candidate, you have more than 1,000 voting delegates across the region. Are there any particular hopes you have for how they will cast their ballots, and what the ultimate winner of that prized chairmanship position is going to be? What that election will have, what impact it will have on who wins overall at the ANC's elective conference come the end of the year?
Look, I think whoever wins this Gauteng conference, as I said earlier, it's all about bribing the delegates. The one who's got more money, who's got more budget, will win. And even in the December elections, it's going to be about money. The one who will have a bigger budget, more money to bribe the delegates, will win. Basically, in the ANC, it's about money and bribing the delegates. It's got nothing to do with integrity, as I said. And the ANC of the values of the past is no longer there at the moment. It's money, money, money everywhere, and bribery everywhere. So to win elections in the ANC, all you need is money to bribe the delegates. And that's all. And from there, in terms of implementing the policies, I've not seen them implementing these policies. We've got the policy through the eye of the needle. None of these leaders has attempted to implement it, none of them. And this is why the ANC is in dire state at the moment.
I'm pretty much out of time, Ntati Omry, but I wanted to quickly put this to you. You're an ANC veteran. How do you feel, these words are coming out of your mouth?
Well, look, I'm disappointed because this is my party and I've been a member for more than 40 years. I'm disappointed with his performance, but I'm aware it's captured, and at the moment the ANC is extremely corrupt, led by extremely corrupt leaders, and some of them extremely incompetent. So it's a combination, it's a toxic combination of incompetence and corruption. And out of that, nothing good for the country. But I believe that we should reform the ANC internal electoral laws, because I believe we've got the best cadres inside the ANC. They are not deployed. That's the only thing is they are not deployed in the right positions because they don't know how to win elections. Right. They don't know how to bribe delegates. So the best cadres are not there in office. And that's the only thing that is maybe letting down the ANC.
Well, we thank you for your time tonight. Appreciate your perspective and your analysis. Omry Makgoale, ANC veteran and political commentator.